Henrietta Lacks, a black woman, an ordinary black woman, a wife, a mother of 5, died of cervical cancer in 1951 at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, at the age of 31 years. Do you know her name? Henrietta Lacks was a patient at Johns Hopkins, diagnosed with cervical cancer at Johns Hopkins, stayed in the segregated hospital wards at Johns Hopkins. And at the time of her surgery, a sample of her cancerous cells were given to researchers at Johns Hopkins without her permission, without her knowledge, without the permission of her family, without the knowledge of the family. The researchers eventually found that these cells were able to reproduce outside of the body. Prior to this, cells retrieved from humans would only survive for a couple of days before dying off. What was special about these cells is that they continued to reproduce, which meant that they became a valuable source for future study. Eventually, these cells were called HeLa cells, taking the first 2 letters of her first and last name, Henrietta Lacks, fully acknowledging that these cells belong to this particular woman. These cells were acquired by a biotechnology company and eventually sold globally to researchers, to other companies for a variety of different research, including AIDS research, vaccine development, cancer research, gene mapping, you name it. HeLa cells were in great demand, and many researchers have profited from the use of the HeLa cells. Everyone seemed to have profited except for the family, who actually had no knowledge of what was happening. It was not until 1973 that the family learned that there was an interest in their mother's cancerous cells when a scientist asked to get blood samples for DNA sampling of the family due to a contamination of a source of HeLa cells. And even at that point, the family wasn't clear on why they were being asked to give blood samples, and only with further investigation was it told to them, or what did it become clear to them that the cancerous cells taken from their mother in 1951 had a unique ability of reproducing and had been sold to various researchers globally. And that's when they learned. And that's when they came to eventually understand that people had profited off of their mother without them being aware. And this was a family who had lived in poverty and had received no financial benefit from the testing, from the profits which were made. When the family eventually understood what had happened, they sued the biotechnology company, Thermo Fisher Scientific. And what do you think was the initial response from the company? You're right. They wanted the case dismissed, citing time limit due to statutes of limitation. When this didn't fly, the company finally agreed to settle with the family for an undisclosed amount. That settlement happened yesterday, August 1st, 2023, which would have been the 103rd birthday of Henrietta Lacks. 103. She would have been 103 years old on August the 1st. She died 1951, and it took until 1973 for the family to learn of what had happened, and the settlement didn't occur until August 1st, 2023. The irony of it all is that if someone had asked her in 1951, she probably would have signed away all of her benefits. Not completely understanding, probably not completely understanding what she was being asked to do. And so I now ask you, anyone that's had surgery, what's happened to your pathology? Have you agreed to research? Do you know if any research has been done? Food for thought.